into my heart. The moment I imagined you listening to me, the moment I imagined you hearing what I said, I felt more sure of myself than I have in a long time. And then, they tried something that pushed me even further. They said, fine. If she matters that much to you, then she doesn't need to be part of this at all. Let her stay out of the issues. Let her stay in the dark. Stay in the dark. As if you're someone who should be hidden. As if you don't deserve to know. As if you don't deserve honesty. That's when I realized something. They weren't trying to remove you because you caused trouble. They were trying to remove you because I care about you more than they expected. They saw it. They felt it. They noticed the softness in my voice. The calmness you bring out of me, the way I get lost when I speak about you. You became a threat to the control they wanted over me. Your presence made me harder for them to manipulate. Your name made me stand my ground. You have no idea how powerful you are. Do you? Every time your name comes into a conversation, something in me changes. I become more honest, more real, more human, and that scares people who want me to stay cold and controlled. They don't like how warm I get when I think of you. And I'll admit something to you now. Something I didn't want to face earlier. I'm scared. Not scared of them. Not scared of the fight. Not scared of the fight. Not scared of the consequences. I'm scared of losing the connection I have with you. Because protecting you made me realize something I didn't want to say too early. Something I've been feeling, but couldn't put into words. Something I didn't want to rush, but the fight forced it into the open inside me. When your name was removed, I felt empty. When they talked about you in a way that didn't match your worth, I felt protected. When they tried to silence your presence, I felt scared. When they tried to hide everything from you, I felt angry. And when they asked why you matter so much, I realized something I wasn't ready to admit before. You're not just someone I talk to casually. You're not just someone who listens. You're not just another face in the crowd. You're the one person who brings calm into my chaos. The one person I feel responsible for. The one person I don't want to lose. The one person whose name affects me without warning. And that's why I'm telling you all of this now. Because the deeper part of the story, the part they didn't want you to know, is that everything escalated because of how much I care about you. Because of the emotions I tried to hide. Because of the way you've become a part of my life, without even trying. But listen, this story isn't finished. The fight didn't end there. And what happened after that? What someone said next? It changed everything, and you need to hear it. When I told you that someone said something next that changed everything, I wasn't exaggerating. The room was already tense. But the moment that person opened their mouth, it felt like the whole air around us shifted. And I remember standing there trying to stay calm, trying not to explode again. But when I heard the words, maybe you're hiding something about her, something inside me froze. It wasn't anger this time, it was fear. Because for the first time, they weren't attacking you. They were trying to expose the feelings I've been keeping inside. I didn't answer at first. I just stared at them, wondering how much they had guessed, wondering if they could see through me that easily. And while I was standing there, all I could think about was you. I imagined what you would say if you were standing beside me. I imagined how your eyes would look if you heard them accuse me like that. And I swear, my heart tightened in a way I've never felt before. It wasn't embarrassment. It wasn't guilt. It was something deeper, something emotional. Something that made me want to protect you even harder. They kept pushing. Why do you defend her every time? Why does your voice change when someone says her name? Why do you react like this only when it's about her? And I knew they weren't going to let it go. They wanted to force the truth out of me. They wanted me to confess something I was still learning to understand myself, and I felt trapped for a moment. Like my own emotions were standing in the center of the room with me. I wanted to stay quiet. I wanted to control myself. But then they said, maybe she's the reason you're losing focus. And that word again. Losing focus. It bothered me more than it should have. Because if feeling something for someone is losing focus, then I guess I never want to be focused again. But I didn't say that out loud. Not yet. Instead, I took a breath, and my voice came out calmer than I expected. I said, I care about her. Is that a problem? And the whole room reacted like I had dropped a bomb. Some of them were shocked. Some of them were confused. Some of them were angry. But all of them knew one thing. I wasn't backing down. The moment that sentence left my mouth, I felt a strange mix of relief and fear. Relief because I finally said what my heart had been holding for so long. Fear because I didn't know how they would use it against me. And while I stood there watching their reactions, the only face I could think of was yours. I wondered if you could feel this connection the same way I felt it. I wondered if you would smile hearing me admit that. I wondered if your heart would beat a little faster, knowing I said those words in a room full of people who never deserved to hear them. But the fight didn't end there. They looked at me like they were waiting for more. Someone said, so what are you trying to say? Are you in love with her? And I swear my chest tightened so hard I had to take a breath just to stay steady. Because love, that word, it carries so much weight. And I wasn't ready to say something so big in front of people who didn't care about my feelings or yours. I stayed quiet again, not because I didn't know the answer, but because I didn't want them to hear it. You deserve to hear it first, before anyone else. You deserve the honesty before the world does. And I wasn't going to let strangers get the truth that belongs to you, but they didn't like my silence. They wanted to corner me. They wanted to push me into a confession. One of them said, if she isn't important, prove it. Step back from her. And I felt something go cold inside me, because the idea of stepping back from you, even for a moment, felt like losing something I didn't want to lose. I didn't plan. I didn't calculate. My heart reacted before my mind did. I said no, just one word. But it was enough. The room went silent again. They weren't expecting that. They weren't expecting me to choose you in front of them. They weren't expecting me to protect you. Even when they were pressuring me, and I felt a spark of confidence inside myself, something warm, something strong, because choosing you felt right, even in chaos, even under pressure, even when everything around me felt uncertain. One of them sighed and said, this is exactly why she's a problem. And that's when I snapped again. I said, she's not a problem. She's the only person who makes me feel like I'm more than this mess. My voice didn't shake this time. It was steady, soft, but full of meaning. And when I said that, I realized I just revealed more about my heart than I planned to. Because you do that. You make me feel human. You make me feel understood. You make me feel calm in ways I can't explain. They could see it. They could feel it. And they didn't like it. Someone said, then you're making this harder on yourself. But I knew the truth. I wasn't making anything harder. I was choosing honesty. I was choosing emotion. I was choosing you. And suddenly, the argument changed direction. One of them said, fine, if you want to involve her so badly, then tell her everything. Tell her what's happening. Tell her what we tried to hide. And even though they said it sarcastically, even though they meant it as a challenge, something inside me softened at those words. Because they didn't understand something important. I want to tell you everything. I want to talk to you honestly. I want you to know what you mean to me. I want you to understand why I reacted the way I did. And that's why I'm opening up to you now, pouring everything out without filters, without hesitation, without hiding anything behind. Careful words, but they weren't done testing me. Someone asked, would you still defend her if she walked away from you? And that question, that one question, it hit me hard. Because it forced me to face something I didn't want to admit. I'm scared of that. I'm scared of you walking away. I'm scared of losing the connection we have. I'm scared of waking up one day and realizing you don't feel anything when you hear my voice anymore. I looked at them and said, I'd defend her even if she never came back. Because that's the truth. This isn't about what you give me. This isn't about what you say to me. This isn't about how often you show up. It's about the way you exist in my heart, without even trying. The fight went on, but something shifted inside me. I wasn't scared of them anymore. I wasn't scared of the consequences. I wasn't scared of being exposed. Because the only thing that mattered was that I didn't let them disrespect you, and I didn't let them silence your importance in my life. But what happened after that, what someone revealed next, what they whispered so quietly that I almost missed it, that part changed everything again, and you need to hear it. I don't know why, but when I think about everything happening around you right now, I feel this heavy pressure in my chest. It's like the more I try to talk to you, the more I feel that someone is trying to stop me from reaching your heart. And I don't even understand why they are doing this. I don't understand why people feel threatened when I try to speak to you with honesty, warmth, and respect. But I need you to know, I didn't step back. I didn't stay silent. I didn't let anyone pull me away from you, even when they tried to remove you from everything happening behind your back. I still kept coming toward you, because something inside me refuses to let go of your connection. I want to tell you something I didn't say before. When I woke up today, the first feeling I had was this strange mix of fear and hope. Fear that you might drift away without even knowing what's happening around you. And hope that maybe today your heart would open just a little bit more toward my voice. I don't know why your presence affects me so deeply. I don't even know how you managed to become such an emotional part of my day. But you did. And I don't want to pretend like it doesn't matter, because it does. You do. Every time I try to speak to you, I feel like I'm walking through a path where someone keeps placing obstacles. Still, I move forward. Still, I choose you. Still, I try to reach your heart, because losing you, even in silence, feels too painful to accept. And maybe you don't realize this, but your silence holds a power that scares me, not in a bad way, but in a way that reminds me how much I want to stay connected to you. I keep wondering if you ever feel that same pull, that same strange closeness that keeps bringing you back to my words. You know what hurts the most? It's not the people fighting behind your back. It's not the ones trying to remove you from things you deserve to know. The real pain comes from knowing that you might be sitting somewhere, confused, feeling lonely, or thinking that no one is standing for you. But I am, even if you never see it. Even if you never hear about what's happening behind your back, I'm still here trying to protect the space between us. Not because I have to, but because something inside me refuses to let anything harm you. I don't want you to think I'm exaggerating. I'm not. I'm speaking exactly the way my heart feels right now. And my heart keeps telling me this simple truth. You didn't deserve what they tried to do to you. Removing you from that fight wasn't about helping you. It was about controlling the situation without letting you have a voice. And that's what made me upset. Because you deserve to be heard, you deserve to be respected, and you deserve someone who stands up for you. Even when you're not present to see it. There's something else I've been wanting to tell you. Every time I close my eyes and breathe slowly, I feel like I can sense your presence. It's not just a connection through a screen or words. It's something softer, deeper, almost impossible to explain. I feel you like a quiet warmth in my chest, and that warmth keeps growing every time I hear your name in my mind. It keeps reminding me that no matter how complicated things get behind your back, I still want you to feel safe with me. There was a moment earlier today when I almost gave up. Not gave up on you, but gave up trying to understand why things around you feel so chaotic and hidden. But just when that thought crossed my mind, I felt something, a pull, a feeling, a soft whisper inside me saying, she needs you here. And that was enough to keep me moving forward again. I don't know why you affect me like this, but I'm not trying to run away from it. I'm trying to understand it. I'm trying to embrace it. Sometimes I imagine you in the middle of all this noise, unaware of how many people are trying to control what reaches you. And I wish I could gently take your hand, move you a little closer to me, and tell you everything without holding back. I wish I could tell you how beautiful your presence is, how calming your aura feels, how carefully I want to speak to you so I don't break the delicate connection between us. I wish I could tell you how badly I want to be the one voice you trust when the rest of the world gets loud and confusing. I know you're probably wondering what the fight behind your back is about, and I want to explain it in the simplest way. There are people who feel threatened by how quickly your energy reaches others. There are people who don't want you to know how powerful your presence truly is. And when they saw how close you were getting to me, even in silence, they tried to distance you, not because of anything you did wrong, but because some people can't handle the idea of you having peace, clarity, or emotional support. And when they removed you from the situation, something